YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. You have me, the Rhino, and we are going to drink a beer. This beer is from Five Paddles. This is actually one of the Five Paddles pumpkin beers. So these all came out the weeks leading up to Halloween. Today is December 11th. This one is one of the ones that is a redo from last year. Apparently this version is a lot better. I do have a person that picks these beers up for me from Five Paddles, and I greatly appreciate what she does. These were actually picked up before Halloween, and then our schedules could never coincide for us to do a swap. And they did this weekend, so I'm grateful to get them. Thank you very much for picking these up. Best part about them coming late is I get to enjoy a pumpkin beer way out of pumpkin season. So anyway, this is the Grim Reaper, which is a pumpkin oatmeal stout. Now, the label's actually really awesome. It's 6% alcohol. Pop her open. You know what happened here? I didn't have a good bottle opener anywhere near me. I didn't have any bottle opener near me. So I want to grab this broken corkscrew that's my emergency backup bottle opener, and it doesn't always open all the bottles all that greatly. Okay, so we got the Five Paddles glass. Let's pour the beer into the Five Paddles glass. Oh, that's an ugly fucking beer. Look at that. That beer's fucking ugly. The fuck? It smells like shit too. Let's just try it. Oh, this beer's awful. It's too fucking stouty. Like, this stout is too stouty. Okay, that was very forced. I actually wanted to force it so people didn't actually think I meant the things I said. That's going back to a conversation me and Ed had at Five Paddles about some things that were said about some of his beers on social media that made him laugh. Now, first and foremost, this beer is beautiful. Respect the paddle. And yeah, respect the paddle. Like, this beer looks great in the glass. I'd respect the paddle more, though, if they made a glass that was big enough for their bottle. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful looking beer. Thick head, deep, deep colored head. Great snap, crackle, pop on it. That head is a beautiful mocha color. The beer itself is a deep, deep black color. Actually, you know what? That's mahogany brown. I actually see just little traces of light around the bottom edges. So yeah, a deep mahogany brown, but it looks black. It looks beautiful. Smelling it, out of the glass you're not getting much. First off, this glass is one of the outward sloping glasses, so they're not the greatest for scent to begin with. But also, there's a lot of head keeping that scent covered up. Roasted malts, caramel, beautiful, beautiful greeniness. Smells like a touch of cloves and a touch of allspice in there. Maybe a bit of nutmeg. Pumpkin spices. It smells the part. Now, I remember last year I talked about how this was a good oatmeal stout. That's about it. It didn't have anything pumpkin to it. To me, it didn't even have the mouthfeel that a pumpkin would normally give. But let's try the beer. Cheers. That's my mustache. Foamy? Is my mustache foamy? Anyway, in the immortal words of the one and only Paul of PA Brews News, a little thin. Other than that, this beer is perfect. Is it a Warlock or a Howl at the Moon or anything like that for pumpkin stouts? No. But is it a really good pumpkin stout? Yeah. Actually, I think this would, even though this is a stout and the other one's a porter, I think this would compete with Pissed Off Pete's pumpkin porter for best pumpkin beer I've had made in Ontario. I don't know how he did it, but he is actually getting that pumpkin flavor of the actual pumpkin itself. It does taste like there's some spices in here. There may or may not be. That might be psychosomatic, but it tastes like vanilla. No, not vanilla. Fuck. It tastes like cinnamon. It tastes like nutmeg. Just quickly look in here. Ingredients. Yeah, it says spices. Okay. Barley, oats, pumpkin, spices, hops, yeast. Yeah, it tastes like cinnamon. It tastes like nutmeg. A touch of allspice. The pumpkin flavor is actually there, though. It actually has given you almost that silky mouthfeel, which is slightly heavier mouthfeel that you expect from a pumpkin. And I shouldn't say heavier, a slightly silkier mouthfeel that I expect from pumpkin beers. Kind of grainy, which you should get from an oatmeal stout. Not as heavy bodied as I would think, as I said, a bit thin, and not as heavy bodied as I would expect from something that is both oatmeal and pumpkin. And a little gassy. All in all, this is a very stouty pumpkin stout, and I love that. I'm going to see how many times I can actually put stouty into context, and it actually makes sense. I think that's going to be my goal, is to say stouty in as much things as I can. But yeah, all in all, great beer. If there was one detractor from it, it's that it's a bit thin. Is that a problem for me? No, I'm just giving my honest feedback. If there's one detractor from it, it's a bit thin. That being said, it is a wonderful, splendiferous beer, and I do wish it was made all the time. I understand why pumpkin beers aren't made year-round, but they could be. They could be. You can get pureed pumpkin. You can get pure... Ed, I'm telling you, you can get pureed. Edward the hipster, you can get pureed pumpkin. You can do it. Aaron, Ian, you know what, Mike, anybody and everybody that is part of the Five Paddle family, buy him a can of pureed pumpkin. Everybody go out and get him a can of pureed pumpkin. Do it. It's not the same, no, but I'd like to drink this more than once a year. I really would. Easily a 9.25 out of 10. This is a very nice beer. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for picking this up for me. I never say your name because I never know if you're okay with me saying your name or not, so I just say thanks for picking it up for me. Some people are, some people aren't, you know. Some people are like, no, I cannot be on the internet in any way. The internet is the devil. I just picked a scab on my knee. See how all over the place my mind is at times when I haven't slept? I can't actually keep a straight thought going. As I said, great beer. I gave it over a 9, so I'm supposed to stout strut. I don't want to move. So what I'll do is this. Stout strut this way. Stout strut this way. Stout strut, motherfucker. Bye-bye. I guess I gotta chug. This is a lot of stout to chug.